I pledge allegiance
to the
to
flag
the flag
flag
of the United
United
States
States
of
of
America,
America and
and
to
to the
the republic
republic
for
which
which it
stands
stands
one
nation,
under God, indivisible,
indivisible,
with
with
liberty
liberty
and justice for all.
The notice requirements of the Open Publics Meeting Act have been met by transmitting the notice of the regular meeting to the Commissioner's official newspaper on January 30th, 2020, and revised January 21st, 2021, posting the notice where required and filing a copy of the notice with the Commission Clerk. Allenhurst,
Present.
Asbury Park,
Yes.
Deal. I see he's here.
He's here.
Interlaken,
Present.
Lock Arbor,
Present.
Neptune,
Here.
Ocean.
Here.
Wow, a full house. That's
Full
great.
Wow.
Okay, I'm gonna take it for this part. Resolution to appoint a clerk offered by myself, and that's going to be Jesse Joseph. And,
Second.
okay, I'm going to record the vote. Allenhurst,
Aye.
Asbury,
Aye.
Deal, Steve, Interlaken,
Aye.
Lock Arbor. Natalie?
Yes,
Okay. Neptune?
Yes.
I got cut off somehow.
That's all right.
Okay.
Ocean, yes. Congratulations, Jesse. It's all yours.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Jesse.
Thank you again for giving me another year. Tonight we have Resolution 20002, a resolution to appoint a chairman. Does anyone want to nominate him?
I
Anybody?
nominate Don Brockle.
Second?
Second.
Second? I'm sorry.
Second.
Okay. Anybody else? Any other nominations?
Nobody wants the job.
Motion to close the nominations?
Moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor, we nominate that the DLA Commission appoints Don Brockle for a one-year term or ending December 31st or until his successor has been duly appointed. All in favor?
Aye.
I'd like to abstain on this vote, but would like to speak before new business.
Okay. Got it. A resolution to appoint the vice chairman. A nomination? Don?
Who's usually the
I
vice
nominate Carol from Interlaken.
Okay. Second?
Second.
Any other nominations? I'll take none. Someone offer?
So
I offer.
Second?
Bruce.
Second.
Bruce.
I offered. Second, Don, go ahead.
Oh, I have second.
Second.
Okay. So Carol's going to be the vice chairman for the year of 2021, ending December 31st, until her successor is duly appointed. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Resolution to appoint the treasurer. Someone please make a nomination.
I nominate Bruce.
Second?
I'll second.
Anybody else nominated? Someone please offer.
I'll offer.
Second?
Second. Don.
So Bruce, you're going to be appointed treasurer for 1 year ending December 31st, 2021, or until your successor is duly appointed. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Next one is resolution to appoint the deputy treasurer. Nomination of
I nominate Eric.
I've been doing
Okay.
it.
second.
I'll
Second.
second.
Any other nominations? Motion to close the nominations.
Motion.
Second.
Second.
Be it resolved that Erica Towling will be the deputy treasurer for the DLA Commission for 1 year, ending December 31st, 2021, or until his successor is appointed. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. A resolution to appoint the secretary. Nomination.
I nominate Jeannie.
Second.
Don
Second.
or Bruce.
Any other nominations? A motion to close the nominations.
Moved.
Second,
Second.
be it resolved that Jeannie Tower is appointed Secretary of the Deal Lake Commission for 1-year term expiring December 31st, or until your successor is duly appointed. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, we're gonna take an oath. Everyone has to stand up. I'll hold up the Bible. And you just have to repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Eric Hotelling,
Do solemnly swear
Do
Solemnly.
solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
I will
I will
support the
support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
New Jersey.
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
I will bear faith
Allegiance
And allegiance
to the same and to the governments established
to the same the governments established
established in
in the United States and in this state
the United States
and in this state.
under the authority of the people.
under the
I do further solemnly swear that I will faithfully,
I do solemnly,
solemnly swear that I will faithfully,
faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform all of the duties of chairman, vice chairman,
perform all the
treasurer,
duties of form
partially perform all the duties of Vice Chairman,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my
best of
ability.
my ability.
So help me God.
So help me.
Perfect. Thank you.
Well, that was a lot longer than the president's oath.
What?
I mean, unbelievable.
I was waiting for the Supreme Court justice to stand up there. Look at that. Wow.
We have another resolution to appoint the Chief Financial Officer, Lorraine Carafa, for 1 year. Someone please.
Offered.
Second,
I'll second.
Allenhurst,
Aye.
Asbury Park,
Aye.
Deal,
Yes.
Interlaken,
Aye.
Lock Arbor,
Melanie,
Yes, yes,
Neptune,
you can use your thumb. It's all right.
Neptune,
yes,
Ocean.
Yes.
A resolution to appoint Attorney Hunt Parry for the year 2021. Someone offer?
Offered.
Offered. Second.
Okay. Allenhurst,
Yes.
Asbury Park,
Yes.
Deal.
Yes, sorry, yes.
That's okay. Interlaken,
Yes.
Lock Arbor,
yes,
Neptune,
yes,
Ocean.
I think I have to abstain.
A resolution to appoint the engineer Peter Oravakian and Leon, and the firm of Leon Esavakian. Someone please offer?
I'll offer.
Second,
Second.
Allenhurst,
Aye.
Asbury Park,
Yes.
Deal,
Yes,
Interlaken,
Yes.
Lock Arbor,
yes,
Neptune,
Yes,
Ocean.
Yes.
A resolution to appoint the auditor to do our 2020 annual audit. Someone please offer?
I'll offer.
Second,
Second, Don.
Allenhurst?
I think is that Robert A. Holzart and Company's the
Yes,
auditor?
I'm sorry, Robert A. Holzart, I'm sorry.
Yes, I'll vote for them.
Okay. Asbury Park,
Yes.
Deal?
Yep.
Interlaken,
Yes.
Lock Arbor? Neptune,
Yes,
Ocean?
Yes.
A resolution to appoint the environmental consultant.
I'll offer.
Second,
second.
Mr. Souza.
it's Dr. Suda of Clean Waters Consulting Services for Princeton Hydro.
All right.
Allenhurst,
Yes.
Asbury Park,
Yes.
Deal,
yes,
Interlaken,
Yes.
Lock Arbor,
yes,
Neptune,
Yes,
Ocean.
Yes.
A resolution to establish the official
you.
newspapers of the commission. It's the Asbury Park Press and the Coaster. Someone please offer?
I'll offer.
Offered.
Second,
Second.
All in favor? Oh, wait, Allenhurst,
Yes.
Asbury Park,
Yes.
Deal,
Yep.
Interlaken,
Yes.
Buck Arbor,
yes,
Neptune,
Yes.
and Ocean.
Yes.
A resolution setting the meeting schedule for 2021. Also in the resolution, it shows that if we need a workshop, we can have that at time if we need it. And those are the dates. They don't fall on holidays.
I'll offer.
Second,
Second.
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
This is a resolution to establish our cash management plan. Someone please offer.
Offered.
Second,
I'll second.
Allenhurst,
Yes.
Asbury Park,
Yes.
Deal,
Yes.
Interlaken,
Yes.
Buck Arbor,
yes,
Neptune,
Yes.
Ocean.
Yes.
A resolution to appoint the webmaster, Ken McGee, for the year 2021, $800 annually. Someone please offer.
Offered.
Second.
Second.
Allenhurst,
Yes.
Asbury Park,
Yes.
Deal,
Yes.
Interlaken,
Yes.
Buck Arbor,
I think it was a thumbs up.
Neptune,
Yes.
Ocean.
Yes.
A resolution to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of December 3rd, 2020. Neptune cannot vote. Someone please offer.
Offered.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Bruce, did you get the treasurer's report?
Did.
Would you like to read it?
I will read it. Our balance on hand, as of January 21st, 2021, total on deposit is $144,356.47. Total receipts were $201.60. Total disbursements were $19,866.25, of which $15,526.25 were grant disbursements. The balances on hand, the total deposit after all disbursements is $124,691.82.
Someone please offer the treasurer's report and pay the bills.
I'll offer.
Second,
I'll second.
Allenhurst,
Yes.
Asbury Park,
Yes.
Deal,
Yes.
Interlaken,
Yes.
Buck Arbor. Thumbs up. Neptune,
Yes.
Ocean.
Yes.
Neptune can't vote. Wait.
On the treasurer's report.
Sorry.
Okay. The next one is old business Bloom electrification. Do you
Okay.
want to?
Peter, you want to take this?
I will take it. A few things to talk about. One is before we discuss the resolution that's before you tonight. Let's talk about the project status briefly. My project engineer, Dave Howarth, has been in contact with the contractor, Precise Construction. And the first thing is we're waiting for the actuator supplier to finalize the programming to allow remote operation of the actuators. We've been waiting for this for a while. And I think it was initially an issue of coordination because we have the prime contractor, we have a subcontractor for electrical, we have a subcontractor for, I guess Rick Manzo is safety and communications. And then we have another fella who actually is going to come in and make sure the internet link works between the remote use of the actuators and the operation of the actuators. That hasn't been done yet. That coordination hasn't been done yet. We talked to the contractor again today, told him we're not processing any further payment to him until we get this working because this is the last link we need and we've been waiting for it patiently and he's on it. He's going to be working on it immediately. The problem is too many people are involved and we need the one guy, so we got to get him out there. And my engineer knows who it is. He's talking to him and we're trying to get him, Rick Manzo, Tony Vlahos, all out there at the same time with my engineer Dave and Don, and then we'll get it done. So with that done, we have a couple drills we need to raise and lower the gates. We need the level markers that my engineer Matt Mariano, that you all know, is going to go out and help site them. We need the weather station and a couple punch list items. With that, we're retaining $70,000 still. That's a lot more money than the value of the work that remains, but that's the way it is. We want the work done. And
Yeah.
as soon as it's done, we will recommend authorization of payment.
Just, Peter, let me add,
Sure.
some of this was tried. They tried to get the final camera in. They tried to get the coordination in with the actuator guy, and the day was done. One guy had got the electrician got hit with a COVID response or quarantine, and he couldn't make it. So it would have been perfect if he was there, and we had at least all the cameras hooked up and all those functioning. But that didn't happen. The actuator gentleman was there, and he knew he could talk to the system. I could see it on my computer. The only problem is there was no buttons to push on the screen. So the key is some guy named Mark at the company that makes the actuator is, after we went through 3 phone calls with the actuator company, that's the key guy. And the actuator company that was hired by Precise is trying to connect, as you said, the right people. And I think we can do it online, on Zoom. Personal contact there is probably not a great idea since it's such a small room. But we surely can do it on Zoom, a Zoom call, which we tried already, and we didn't get there. We got close, but we didn't get to the final part.
We'll give them a push again next week and see if we can get it done. I'd love for it to be done soon, definitely by our next meeting.
And Rick Manza did volunteer, Pete, I think you know this,
Yes.
to do the SOP, standard operating procedures, for the electronics and the TV, the cameras, so we could hand it off to the police and deal, and also the Asbury Park Police, so they have access to the cameras, and also how we do the link, what camera is going to be linked to the public. And we're going to try to do that too. So folks can just tune in to Deal Lake and see the fish come in March and April. So that's what I'm hoping.
That's it. And I know with Manzo, I work with him on other projects, and he's a stand-up guy, and he's going to help us get through this.
Yeah.
With that said, and knowing that we had a payment made, let's talk about what the resolution is that's in your agenda. I have it on my computer, so forgive me for looking at my computer screen while we're talking. We authorized the payment at the last meeting, and it included all the work that was completed to date, plus work associated with a change order. When we spoke to DEP and the Army Corps, it became apparent that that change order work was above the contract value, was not yet approved Ocean because it was above the value, and the Corps said they would not reimburse it until the time as the money was expended by us or Ocean Township to the contractor. What all that means is we're rescinding the recommendation of payment for the change order simply because we have to ask Ocean Township to appropriate additional funding and pay the contractor, and then we will be reimbursed by the Army Corps through the DEP for that work. A little convoluted, but it's the way the federal government works. You have to expend the money, then get the reimbursement. And it'll be easier if we do it at the very end of the job, because then it'll be the one final certificate, voucher, invoice to close the project out. That's what this resolution says. Jesse wrote it. I appreciate her help. And what we're doing is we're determining the change order amount in the of $43,750 is deducted and paid upon completion of the project. Don, it was the restoration wall and a few other items associated, correct?
Okay, would someone like to offer the resolution?
I'll offer.
Second,
I'll second.
Allenhurst,
Yes.
Asbury Park,
Yes.
Deal,
Yes.
Interlaken, Luck Arbor, Neptune,
Yes.
Ocean.
Yes.
Okay, did you want to go and do resolution 2119 for the Zoom meet, continue to do the subscribing to the Zoom meeting platform?
Yeah, where's that?
That's resolution 2119, new business.
Go ahead.
We're going to we don't know how long we're going to be doing the Zoom meetings, so we only authorized it last year through December. So we're going to keep doing it as far as we know, indefinitely. So this is just authorizing us to keep doing it. That's $16 per month, not to
Good
exceed 200. Someone please offer.
I'll offer.
Second,
I'll second.
Allenhurst. He's muted.
Yes.
Asbury Park,
Yes.
Deal,
Yes.
Interlaken,
Yes.
Luck Arbor, Neptune.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ocean.
Yes.
The next one is authorizing a temporary increase for webmaster services at $100 a month, not to exceed $1,200 for Ken for doing all his extra work. Someone please offer.
Offered.
Second.
Allenhurst,
Yes.
Asbury Park,
Yes.
Deal,
Yes.
Interlaken,
Yes.
Luck Arbor, Neptune,
Yes.
Ocean.
Yes.
The next resolution is authorizing an appropriation transfer. We went over in our engineering costs last year, and we had money left over in another account. So we're just transferring that amount to be able to pay the overage in engineering,
$1,280.
$1,280. Someone please offer.
I'll offer.
Second,
Second.
Allenhurst,
Yes.
Asbury Park,
Yes.
Deal,
Yes.
Interlaken,
Yes.
Luck Arbor, Neptune,
Yes.
Ocean.
Yes.
And the last resolution we have, last month we did say we'd pay Clean Waters Consulting, but we felt after Lorraine and I spoke, we felt better if we just did a resolution authorizing it. And Steve submitted an invoice for extra services that he performed for us this year at $787.50. So someone please offer.
Offered.
Second,
Second. Jean.
Asbury, Allenhurst,
Yes.
Asbury Park,
Yes.
Deal,
Yes.
Interlaken,
Yes.
Luck Arbor, Neptune,
Yes.
and Ocean.
Yes.
Okay, that's all the things that we need to vote on right now.
Okay, thank you. And
Thank
we're
you.
going to do the 319 grant, and we got a couple things on that. Peter, you want to update us on the latest?
Glad to start this. Thank you to everyone who participated and helped set up the pre-construction meeting. That is for the installation of the manufactured treatment devices serving Sunset Lake and Deal Lake. As you recall, one is on Memorial Drive and between 5th and 6th Avenues. One is on Grand Avenue and 5th, and one is Grand Avenue and Sunset. The same contractor who's doing our gatehouse electrification with the low bidder for this precise construction, he was available. We had the meeting on January 13th. We did it via Zoom. Very different, but it worked very well. We don't have the utility companies participate on our virtual pre-construction meetings. We address them individually. It's a little easier than trying to get them all together. The contractor has submitted all the contract paperwork to the commission. Shop drawings have been approved, and we're ready to start construction. We had the Asbury Park Director of Public Works available. He gave us a staging area along 7th Avenue and Main Street. The contractor is going to start work the beginning of February, And don't blink, that's like a week and a half from now. He's thinking, all things considered, if the weather's good, he wants to get in and out. He's that type of a contractor. Once the units are delivered, one device per week. So that's a 3 to 4 week time period for those two to go in. The one on Memorial could take a little longer because there's traffic and a detour staging area and things like that. Notice is going out to all the businesses and the residents within the construction of each project to make them aware of the construction time. And the project was very well received by Asbury Park. Thank you to everyone who helped coordinate that. And we're ready to go.
Yeah, I want to thank Peter. Peter also got the engineering team in Asbury Park involved, and I'll tell you, they were so excited. The head teacher was came to the meeting, and he's already got the students involved. I think it's 125 students that are actually studying a little bit about learning about Deal Lake, and they're going to hopefully have the seniors, the kids that are real interested, come out to the work sites. So it's extremely exciting, and we're also going to try to bring them to the treatment device right by the high school in Comstock to show them how one works, physically works. So,
hey, Don, I'd like to stay up to speed on what's going on with that, because it's something I want to talk about at the end that's
okay,
extremely relevant.
It was tremendous. They were what it was. I thank Peter for that, because it was our best result in terms of connecting with schools. Other than what Jeannie did with the artists, the young kids. So it's really hitting home. Last year we did the young kids, and this year we do the high school kids. So
I just want to mention too, the teacher is terrific at the high school. That I spoke to him, and we discussed ways to document that, because I know we had brought that up. We brought that up at one of the meetings, meetings, that we want to document it, keep pictures of it, records, and so forth. And so we talked about some ways that the students would be involved in documenting the process, so that we do have something to show at the end of it.
Yep.
And he's, like you said, is very excited about it, and the kids are thrilled. So
That'd be great.
For you and Don and all of our commission members and the public. High schools, it's difficult to run a high school under these conditions. And just imagine, they haven't had a field trip since March or April. We're right around the corner. So Kevin Davis, the director of the engineering department, and I work with him on the advisory board there. And Kevin's going to request that a number of students be allowed to physically visit the project site with us. We'll work with them. We'll socially distance. We'll make sure everything's safe, keep them out of the actual construction site. But this would be a tremendous opportunity for them. And Steve, I'm going to link you in, and Jack too, so that you're aware when work is going to begin and when they'll start meeting with us.
Yeah, that'd be great. I'd really appreciate that. That would be terrific.
And we get them on the also the floating wetlands project. That'd be worth a lot. And
Peter, would you keep me in the loop with that too? Because I would like to try and get the newspaper when you're outside for that.
Jeannie, the only thing on the newspaper, they mentioned they have to coordinate that. The school, because they have to get waivers from the parents.
Yes, I spoke with Mr. Gould about that, and he is working on that with the students and parents to get those waivers.
Hey, Peter, could you give the locations again, or like what's your schedule, where you're going to start?
Not sure where they're going to start. Don, I don't think he said where he's going to start. I would rather they started at Grand Avenue, because that'll give them an opportunity to get the smaller devices in first and get a handle as to how things are staged and all. And Memorial Drive is a bigger device. It's in the right of way. You're going to have roadway shut down and businesses affected. I'd rather they get in there and finish the project over there.
What was the start date, Peter? They said.
We're saying the beginning of February. It depends on when they get a sign off on the construction fabrication of the unit.
I talked to some of the businesses. I happened to be shopping in one of the shops the other day, and I know the people at the gift shop, Carla Gifts. And she said Valentine's Day is critical for all those shops there. So we don't want to do anything before Valentine's.
Yeah, that's why if you go to Grand Avenue first, we'll be well past.
But they also, that's the days after are really critical, because then they get into the summer season. So we'll have to play it by ear, but we may want to get that in sooner than later if there's any delays on Grand Avenue.
The third or fourth week of February might be the time to do it, weather permitting.
Yeah.
So that's
Hey,
what we're
Peter,
doing.
just give us a heads up when you're going to start that, because I'd like to see that.
Absolutely. I think what I'll do
I would
is I'll do
too.
a little project status report and shoot it out to Jessie, and she can send it to the entire commission. So everyone will know when we're doing it. Great to have the commission involved, especially if kids are there.
Yeah.
I just have to say one other thing, Jeannie, about Kevin Gould. Here I am preparing. It's like when you overdo it, you're ready to go in and meet with the kids and talk to them, and I'm preparing manufacturers' information. You got to dumb it down. They're smarter than I am. And Kevin, he goes, "Oh, don't worry about it." I went online. He went on the Deal Lake Commission website. He went on the manufacturer's website. He went on an EPA website. He has a complete syllabus for his kids to present stormwater management in general, present the Deal Lake Commission specifically, and present the manufactured treatment devices and how they function, more than some of my guys in the office know. So I was just tremendously impressed with what he does with his kids.
He's an engineer, retired engineer. So it's great that they have a person like that.
Yep.
Electrical, though. He's an electrical engineer.
Yeah. We could use him.
But he's really a great guy. Good, smart guy.
Yeah. Okay. That's it for this part of it. I'll let Don and Jack take that part.
Forward to that.
Okay, Jack, all yours on the green infrastructure.
Okay, so in terms of, Peter and I, we've got to work out the rest of the Wesley Lake green infrastructure that he went out and we went out a while ago and looked over the sites, and he revisited them with Doug McQueen. But I know he's really busy with the MTDs at the moment, so that we're going to get that out of the way and then work on the rest of the BMPs there. We have a series of tree boxes that we're also still trying to work out, but potentially maybe tying them into the work at Wesley Lake, even regardless of where they are. And we still have that quote for the floating wetland islands to go into Wesley Lake. I believe it may have been brought up in the December meeting.
We actually are paying that bill tonight.
Yeah.
We're paying the bill for the other MTDs tonight.
Oh, okay. All right. I wasn't even sure if we had gotten to the point of approving the quote. That's okay. Okay, fair enough. Then we'll get that and we'll send that out to them when, and then they'll ship in, I think April, I think is what they're intending for. So then I'll be reaching out to folks for volunteer work, particularly those students are going to be crucial in helping them out with that. But anybody, any of the commissions, Deal, Sunset, or Wesley Lake commissions, I encourage everybody to come out, socially distance, and we'll have plants at that point as well. I'm going to work on getting the plant list together and getting an order in soon so that they're ready to go for the spring. That's about what I have for the moment.
Hey, Jack, can I ask you something? Can you work with Steve and yourself, and if you need Peter, drag him in, but you should have the capabilities of Princeton Hydro to whip up that RFP, at least the specification part for all the green infrastructure stuff. So we should be able to vote on that next meeting. Can we make that happen?
I'll see what I can do for sure.
Okay. Because I think, and the one for the tree boxes, we'll have to put is a lot of optional tree boxes because we may not have money. So we'll have to put it as, if funds are available, we'll put them in these locations. And we had talked about the locations prior and just other meetings, but.
And Don and Jack, I wasn't able to speak with Jack today. I know he called and spoke to Mariano at my office. I am working with Doug McQueen. What we're doing right now on the Wesley Lake Rain Gardens is we've selected 2 locations. We're sending our field crew out to identify the infrastructure, the inlet locations, pipe location. And then we're going to identify the limits of the rain gardens and do a construction and project estimate for those 2 rain gardens.
Okay.
Then we'll be ready to go.
Yeah,
I have to go to Neptune. I have to go to Ocean Grove, make sure they both sign off on it and they're okay with it. And then we'll have concept plans for the commission to review. and then we'll solicit proposals.
I guess we can also ask the state if we can get extension because of the COVID situation. We're still under the wire, but just barely. I think October we turn into pumpkins, I believe.
Okay.
Maybe we can get extension for a year.
I think it's November. I think so.
Okay.
I think we have a decent amount of time. I'll have to double check on that.
Okay.
But yeah, I think it is crucial though that like Peter was saying, we'll get that cost together and then we can start figuring out what we can do with the tree boxes. I don't want to put extra work into extra tree boxes and then have them not go in per se. I want to be able to make sure that we get as much out of this as we can.
Okay.
And Jack, reach out to me because I can probably direct you to a couple of places on the server where it'll save you some time and effort. You don't have to recreate the wheel.
Yeah, that'd be good. Replant the tree, if you will. Awesome. Very good. Okay. Thanks, everybody. Yeah, we'll get that pushed out.
Thanks, Jack.
Shoreline protection and education. We're still working with the state on that. We sent a letter to them. They were busy, I know, and after the holidays, and we'll follow up with that. Jeannie and I will have a discussion with them and get that moving along because we definitely need the towns to be educated on the rules and regulations and the community. And we do have a nice link that Jeannie put up a while back that helps people out. So that's pretty good. Weed treatment control RFP. I sent that to you guys. This is basically a motion. And I'm not sure if there's money involved, Jesse, in terms of money. Do we have to put X number of dollars for advertising?
No. We just advertise it.
Okay. That's taken care of, like a dollar figure in the press or something like that?
No, we just,
No?
there's this, we say where they can pick up the RFP.
Yeah.
Do we hear a motion to accept the RFP or at least give, let's put the motion as if.
Did you want to discuss it first?
Well, yeah, I want to put the motion on the table and discuss it. Basically, the RFP is on the table for treatment of Terrace Pond and also Hollow Brook. And it'd be a request for proposal for 2021 weed season.
I
Right.
have a question. I don't object to either of those places, of course, but I do have a question. I thought that the original plan was when this RFP was going to be developed, that it would also include, in case it needs treatment, the area that was treated in front of Wickapecka Bridge. So now I don't see that in the new RFP.
We removed that because that was the recommendation of the company that it was,
Right.
there's no weeds there, right, Steve?
Yeah.
Help me out, Steve, on this one.
Yeah, Solitude, Jeannie, they felt they had really good control in that area, and they did not feel that there would be the need to do a retreatment. And plus, they were also concerned with some of the drift that occurred of that herbicide and the impact to some of the water lily significantly downstream from there, which really surprised me. But so I think combination of their summary that they had achieved satisfactory level of treatment and the concern about impacting non-targeted plants that was dropped from this year's program.
Is there any reason why they would have drift there and not up west? Or is
I think number one,
flow of the water?
right. Yeah, I think number one, there's less impediment to flow in that area. As the water comes underneath Wickapecka, it's sort of like, it's like a fire hose because it goes from an open area to a constricted area, and it's sort of blowing everything downstream. So, there's a lot more drift there. And plus the weed densities weren't that high in there to start off with. I mean, but again, Solitude, their recommendation to us was that, they had knocked that down and, they felt that that area had been adequately treated and controlled.
Okay. I didn't know that. So thank you.
I just wanted, one thing, Jesse, the way I did write this RFP is that it's exclusively digital.
Okay,
So, we would want, if the RFP gets approved, first off, it's in draft form.
right,
So if you guys tell me that it's okay, then, I can finalize it. That won't take much time at all, like 10, 15 minutes. But it is digital. So the way I set that up is that it specifically can be downloaded from the Deal Lakes website. If it needs to be done legally, some other means, I'll make those adjustments. But
okay,
unlike in the past where we've made the bid documents available at your office,
right,
avoided any of that because of COVID.
right.
And then additionally, in terms of when it's time to submit the bid, everything gets submitted digitally. There's no need for a hard copy.
Okay, do you want everything submitted to me or to you?
It
Oh,
gets
okay.
submitted, right, it gets submitted to your email address.
Okay.
That's all detailed in
Okay,
the proposal. But if you guys want to take, a day or two just to review it and then get back to me and say, okay, it's good to go, then it won't take me more than, like I say, 15 minutes or so to finalize it. I'll PDF it, and then we can work with Ken to have it put up on the website. And then if you want, I can send out courtesy emails to the top, applicators in the state, and just, make them aware that it's available for download, from the website. The only thing I didn't indicate on there is, due dates. So that needs to be filled in.
okay.
Do we have enough time to get it back before the next meeting, Steve?
Mm,
It would be nice to get it.
Yeah, I don't, if you give me the okay on this, and just give me the date that you want to have it submitted, I think that's possible. I mean, this isn't anything new for, the 3 or 4 applicators that are likely to respond.
Our next meeting is the 18th.
we also have, there's a holiday in there too somewhere, right?
If,
President's Day?
so you're able to, if we approve it tonight, then you can get it ready before the next meeting, right? So then it can go ahead. Is that what you're saying, Steve?
Yeah.
Right. If you guys, if you authorize it, and then essentially, it's especially, you have to look at the blank spots in there, where there's due dates.
Right.
Steve, you and I can work on that tomorrow.
Okay, all right,
'Cause I can advertise in the Coaster next week and the Asbury Park Press.
right, okay, we could do it that way, and then, like I said, we could talk to Ken about having it uploaded to the website.
Mm-hmm. So shall we move then? I mean, I would move to go ahead and approve that process for Steve to go ahead with this so that we can get it going for the weed
And
treatment.
if he wants to fine tune it, then we can.
Yeah, and let him find what the things that he mentioned that need to be digitized and the date. But otherwise, I would move to go ahead and have this weed treatment RFP advanced so that we can get it out there.
RFP.
RFP.
That's great. Jeannie's the motion. I'll second. Jess?
Allenhurst,
Yes.
Asbury Park,
Yes.
Geo? Oh, did he leave? I wonder if he might have left. Interlaken,
Yes.
Loch Arbor? Melanie?
Melanie?
Okay. Neptune?
Thumbs up.
Yes.
Ocean?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, so just so I'm clear on this, you want a due date of February 18th,
No,
4 o'clock?
it has to be before that.
Well, if we advertise on what's next? I don't have a calendar.
It'll be the 16th back.
Yeah, but you can't open a bid after a holiday weekend. When is President's Day being
It's the
celebrated?
15th. It's Monday the 15th.
Well, I guess
Yeah.
you should ask, how soon would you be able to do that?
Can you do it on Friday the 12th?
I'm gonna have to
No.
look at a calendar tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, you want to give
Okay.
them at least, I would say at least 2 weeks to respond.
Yeah.
I think that'd be realistic because,
Wednesday the 17th, I guess is okay. Is that all right, Jesse?
Yeah.
For you? The day before the meeting?
Yeah, but will that have enough time to review? To
Yeah,
review
the other thing
proposals?
Right. What I took out of there, I didn't say that we would make the award the same evening. I just
Yeah.
said that it would be.
Okay.
the
Yeah,
date, and then
Okay.
that would give you a little bit more latitude in terms of, when you, to review and then award.
Yeah.
okay.
And
Based
even if,
on the old pricing, but it was around $4,500.
I thought it was a little bit more than that. I thought
That's what I saw.
both there, yeah, you gotta look at what chemical that they were talking about there.
Yeah, it was the cheaper one's 4,500.
Right, so I think you gotta be prepared that it could be as high as like 15 or 18,000.
Right, correct.
Okay. All right, that's fine, because then even if you award it and the contracts are signed by mid-March, that still gives them more than enough time. It only takes now like 2 or 3 days to get the permit from DEP. All that's been, there's no more angst over that
Do we
stuff.
get that, Steve, or do they?
They get it.
Okay.
Permits with the applicator.
Thanks.
Okay.
Let's move on. Goose and carp remediation. We got the signs up on the geese, most of them. There's some more to be put up. I don't know if you saw them. You're drive by, you won't be able to see them. But if you walk by, you can see them. So I have spotted people feeding the geese and stuff like that. So they're not all in the right spot. We got to find new spots for some of the signs. But it's going well. We did have a goose feeder, and it was reported to me, and I happened to know the person. We made a phone call, and they stopped. But they did feed high quality stuff to the geese, let me tell you.
I have a question about
Yeah.
the last year. Which town was it that paid to those the wildlife group that came out and addled the eggs? Which town did that?
We do that in Ocean.
It's almost all the towns.
Oh,
No, not Asbury, but Ocean.
Ocean does.
no, we use someone in Interlaken too. We have a contract.
We use US.
Deal
Wildlife.
does, I believe. also.
USDA.
Yeah, that's who
The
we
golf
use.
courses do it. They contract out.
Correct.
I'm gonna tag out right now because I need to go. So I'm tagging my neighbor, Steve Merlin, to stand in my stead. Thank you.
Bye, Carol. Thank you.
All
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Be safe.
So, but that will continue again this year. Is that right? Is that what we
Oh.
understand, or?
Oh, it's every year it gets renewed.
Yeah, we
every
just did it
town does.
again.
Okay.
We just
We hope to
renewed it
have
again.
a little more aggressiveness. We'll talk about it next month. I didn't have time to get that. I have a couple proposals on the table. I have on the table. I'm not going to propose them tonight because I'm trying to get more data on the information. So I'm going to leave that for next month.
Don, you may get a call or an email from some folks up at Packanack Lake up in Wayne. They were interested in how
Yeah.
things went with the rejects it.
Right.
And treatment of the grass, because they have a big goose problem and they're looking at that as a potential way to minimize it. So you may get a call or an email.
We'll
from some
need-
of those folks.
On the same note, Steve, I asked all the commissioners to see if their towns will allow us to put it along the shoreline in their public area, because it's kind of critical that we start talking about it. I'll send an email out to all you soon and see. if
I'm
you
not
can
sure.
I'd
Am
like to suggest
Yeah,
again, and I'm-
Melanie?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Are you having a problem hearing me? You can hear me.
We
Okay.
can hear you.
All the information, if you just look up Geese Peace, or like GEESEPEACE.org, their website has all kind of information on it. And they are with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. But the Geese Peace are the ones that we had gotten to. I guess they were independent before. And that's who we had gotten to before, who instructed us on how to do the addling. So I guess now that they contracted out or whatever. But I actually had a call into the woman who handles that. And we just kept missing each other. So hopefully tomorrow we'll connect.
Okay.
And I should have some more information on that, because it did work very well before.
Oh, yeah.
So I think it's definitely.
We rather have them lay eggs in Spring Lake than deal eggs. That's the whole idea. I want to get the geese away from the lake.
Talking about geese addling, right? Is that what you're talking about?
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm talking about geese.
We had a good year last year. Last year we didn't have many eggs. We didn't have many young. So It's very
That
good.
helps.
All right, I'm going to keep moving, guys. Ship and sniff program, we're going to hold that off to the next meeting. Seaview Mall, I'm going to hold that off the next meeting. First Responders Park, I see Marty's there. We're going to be holding that off the next meeting. There's a lot of stuff going on all three of those, but we're going to hold off on that. Water testing, Jeannie, you have any updates on the water testing on the?
I know we've just added another person to the the Clonet. And I keep posting it when I send out emails, just telling people about the citizen scientists. And it seems to drum up. Usually every time I send it out, we get one more person. So
I know
training and they're training, you know, one at a time, two at a time. So it's good.
Yeah. Let me go back real quick. Seaview Mall, I did talk to Laura McBride today about some material removal at the back of Terrace Pond. So that was one of the recommendations of believe it or not, the weed guys. So we want to talk about that next month. Hopefully I'll have more information on that. Okay.
And I had, if we're done with old business, I had said I wanted to speak.
Do I miss any old business or I'm good?
No.
New business, we got two items,
I had
guys.
said, John, that I wanted to speak before new business, if I could.
Oh, go ahead, sure.
I'm just wanted, it would be 4 minutes most, but this is the start of my 5th year on the commission. I'm glad to be serving, and I just wanted to take a minute to express an ongoing concern and hopes of a new, fresh start. The DLC, I think, is fortunate because we have the full support of 7 municipalities who provide funding and appoint commissioners to be stewards of the lake. And we also have dedicated, excellent consultants on our team, of course. Each commissioner on the DLC has an equal vote, an equal voice, and the right to have access to information and our resources. Each commissioner should have the opportunity to participate fully in collectively defining the DLC goals and to work on achieving those goals. And so I want to speak to that. While the chair's role is to oversee the meetings, no one person on the commission has the right to dictate DLC goals or to carry out all its goals. When I brought this up to the chair, he said that he assumes that other commissioners will not want a part in that, and I think that might be an incorrect assumption. The DLC was never designed to operate as an autocracy. And that kind of model, particularly amongst a group of volunteers like us and consultants, to me is a waste of resources, time, and human potential. But this year, it's my hope that the existing model will change and that every commissioner who wishes to is encouraged to voluntarily take part in working with other commissioners on issues of mutual interest. We can break up the workload, and to do this, we need dedicated work sessions to carry out this work. Secondly, for years, I've been sending out DLC communications and writing the content for the website, and I've helped develop workshops and material to educate the public. I've called on Dr. Souza for help with my efforts because it's important that I'm up to date and accurate in what I put out to the public. I want to thank you, Steve, especially for all your help. I respect that our excellent consultants are busy professionals. They always go way above and beyond what the DLC pays them. And I understand the need to minimize what we ask of them. I'm mindful of this whenever I ask for information, and I respect and appreciate whenever they can provide and whatever they can provide the resource. The chairman is a very hardworking person, and his intentions about the lake are good, and he's very passionate, but I believe he misunderstands his role. The chair insists that he controls all communications and information, and he holds the reins so tight, it sometimes makes it very hard to operate. Everything he requires must flow through him for approval, filtering, or censorship, all communications and information. My questions or suggestions to the chair are oftentimes dismissed or seem to be viewed as a criticism. If I ask that the chair add a topic to our agenda for discussion, for example, he refuses that and sometimes browbeats or says, we'll talk about it some future meeting. So during DLC meetings, I try to bring up that same concern, and I frequently get interrupted or he cuts me off. During our November goals meeting, I asked for 2 goals to be added to our list. One dealt with one that I discussed earlier, that is breaking up the DLC workload among commissioners. The second goal was to work on developing a specific process, a checklist, so to speak, to deal with flagrant lake offenders like Nobility Crest. My suggestions were submitted in writing far in advance. The chair and I brought them up, far in advance to the chair, and I brought them up during the meeting, that and also something about the Monmouth County Shared Service Agreement. Though two other commissioners felt that these were worthy topics, on his own, the chair decided they were not valid and refused to include them in the final document. Recently, the chair accused me of going outside my duties as a commissioner, leaving a kind of abusive voicemail, verbally abusive mail, when I responded to requests for information from my city's mayor. So I followed up last month after a meeting with the NJDEP to get some clarification from them for our website regarding regulations. I copied to the chair, who then wrote back to me and that I should not communicate with the NJDEP without his approval, even though I had been communicating with them for over a year. It helped us to set up that meeting that we had in November. When the chair wants to assure me of his serious stance, he copies to the commission attorney, or he copies to everyone on the commission, and it certainly feels a bit like an attempt at an intimidation. Why I'm explaining this to you is that it has become increasingly a real choke point in my efforts to serve on the DLC. And it's why, in good conscience tonight, I felt I had to abstain on my vote for the chair. It's my hope that this level of micromanaging will change as we begin this new year, so that our work becomes easier to do. I hope to see us working more collectively this year with easier access to information and the resources available to us. I appeal to the chair to reconsider his behavior and what he thinks his role is. I cannot speak for the commission, but I believe that these changes might prompt many of us to feel more comfortable in tackling the work of the commission. And I thank you for hearing me.
Don't dispute anything. Everything she says is pretty much right. I do dispute the tone, because number one, I thought I always had, and if I'm mistaken, please, commissioners, tell me, but the voice of the commission has to be with one voice, and I don't have a problem with hearing those voices, but I think I have the responsibility to end up taking those opinions, consolidating them, talking to the professionals, and making final decision. The DEP discussion, Jeannie did a great job getting everybody together on the DEP meeting. But what I asked her was, do not respond to it. I sent an email back thanking the DEP for a discussion before Thanksgiving. They specifically said they are very busy during this period, this holiday period, and they couldn't do anything. So that's why I was a little upset with Jeannie when she sent that letter out. And she knows that.
I don't want to go back.
I know, but but there was history here. There's history here. So I really didn't want, but that letter should have been gone over with myself and Steve before you sent it out.
I did.
And that's my whole point. Things have to be reviewed by the team, and I have to make sure that gets done. If my role is wrong, please tell me, commissioners, because I need to know that.
I did go over it with Steve, and I shared that with you. I copied it to you. There wasn't anything like underhanded, but I don't want to go, if you,
look, Jeannie,
I've offered to discuss these things with you in the past. And
I was a little perturbed that the mayor of Asbury Park came back in a separate email to my mayor and other folks in that room, and I didn't know it was coming. I had no idea that letter was coming, and that wasn't even to me. It was back to you, and I was a little perturbed by that. To be honest with you, I was shocked. I didn't know what he got. I still haven't seen what he got from you. And you do a great job. Trust me. I love the work you do.
Well, Don, I'm not opposed to what your work, the work that you do. As I said, you work hard. I don't want to publicly
it's all right. It's we can have conflicts. I have conflicts with my wife all the time. So, it's good. It's all right.
Well, I'm not your wife, but
it's okay to have conflicts. I don't have a problem with that. And I know you have a different opinion, but
I feel that the commission, and I've said this a number of times, that the commission is the 7 people, and we all can be participating in this. I've kind of stepped up and had a lot of arguments and fights with you that I don't think are necessary to have in order to take on some work. And I've said, you're bearing all the weight of this when you don't need to. You have 6 other people, plus we have a whole other set of people,
Don, and Jeannie, can I just step in for a moment? I'm listening to this, and I went through everything that both of you said, and I really appreciate your opinion, both of your comments. We're in a different venue right now. We're in a public venue on a virtual meeting that can be rebroadcast in Indonesia if it wants to be. I don't think it's the appropriate time for us to be talking about personnel and personal issues right now. I think we get the idea of what the issues are, and I think it's up to Don to set up a meeting or a workshop to things so we all move forward in a very positive.
I agree, Peter.
I agree with that too. I'd like to have that.
Because you can go on all night long, and I don't think we could.
No, I don't. Yeah, I never intended that when I brought it up.
Bruce, you have any comments?
Yeah, I've been here probably I think I've been on the commission the longest, and the way it was run from the beginning was basically the Ocean Township representative was the chairman, and the Ocean Township representative was pretty much in charge of the agenda. That's the way things have been done. I'm not saying that it's etched in stone and that's the way it's got to be, but it's sort of a custom and something we've come to accept because if I'm not mistaken, Ocean Township has the most area covered by the lake and contributes the most. And I think that somehow over the years, de facto, or maybe de jure, I don't know. At some point, Ocean Township became the lead role in the commission. So that's just the way it's been done. Whether it shouldn't be, whether we have to consider doing it a different way, I agree with Peter. It's something that maybe we should have a meeting offline about and talk about separately. But it's just the way it's been done. And to be frank with you, I think things have run better in the last couple of years than I've ever seen. And truthfully, Jeannie's a fabulous commissioner. But I kind of agree. Things got to be channeled through one voice. But if there's a different way that people want to run it, we should have a meeting offline and talk about it.
Agendas, I hope.
I don't think we can do the offline meeting.
Jeannie, one second, please.
I don't think legally we can do that. I think that's where we'd have to have a meeting, a workshop of types, and talk these things.
Mr. Perry, can you talk for a second?
Sure.
Don, excuse me, before Hunt speaks, Jesse just texted me and she's offline. So Ken, if you can let Jesse back in.
Back on, thank you.
Okay, great. Thanks. Sorry, Hunt. Thank you.
All right. A couple of basic things. One is for a commissioner to be heard, it's very simple. Make a motion. If there's a motion and a second, there's discussion and there's a vote. So that's how you get something to the table. So if you've got something that won't be allowed on the agenda, bring it up. New business, and if there's a second on it, it goes on the agenda and it gets moved. So
how does the public get to speak?
What's that?
How does the public get to speak?
At the end of the meeting.
Oh yeah, not the last one.
What?
And we're also blocked from your Facebook page, Mr. Brockle. So I totally agree with Jeannie.
It's inappropriate.
He's out of line. Please silence him.
Because you don't understand doesn't mean that's the way.
We're still in a meeting. That was somebody in the public.
Can you take care of 350, please?
So that being said, there's always an avenue to be heard. Secondly, as far as a meeting goes, to determine how you want to handle these things, you can't. It's got to be if you've got a quorum there or somebody or the ability to effectuate a vote. Then you have to publicize the meeting. It has to be, and it has to be open to the public, unless you're doing certain. I mean, there are certain exemptions to that, but even then, you would go into executive session, and then later on, those minutes would be published. But I don't know that trying to figure out how you want to direct communication is going to fit into one of those exceptions.
Okay.
So, yeah, I think you're right to schedule a meeting and get everybody together and decide how you're going to do this.
Yeah, but Hunt, are there bylaws or something which define the chairman's role? Is there
We have
something in
that.
writing which discusses
No,
that?
it's whatever the commission decides to allow him to do.
We
It
have
has,
bylaws,
as
yeah.
you pointed out, Bruce, in the past, because of the activities of our former chairman, John Everson, and then his successor, Don, these guys were willing to run with it. And we don't have an administrator. We have a clerk. She's not going to run things. So it's run and has been run through our chairman.
Right.
And that's traditionally been the way it goes. And
No,
I understand that when you're communicating with the outside world, that you got to send the proper message. So you do need to get together and figure out how you want to do this.
I was just going to say that prior to John Everson, when the commission used to operate and have committees, the DLA commission did have committees that tackled specific or different kinds of things. They broke up the workload and the committees reported back to the commission. So yeah, I guess more recently what everybody remembers is the way it was done then. But, it's something that the commission decides. And I think it's worth, I'm glad that you say that. I think that it's worth that we have a meeting to talk about these kinds of things. Does the commission want to break up the workload, and do we want to have work sessions and those kind of questions? So,
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay.
Okay, anybody else?
Can I just ask a question?
Sure.
Yes. It's Melanie. Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Is there any reason, can you hear me?
Yes.
Is there any reason why there couldn't be like Jeannie said, like something about different work groups to work on certain things that might be really of interest to us, you know what I mean, to that particular person?
No.
And then the workload could be split up and sort of report back to the meetings. Hello?
It's been done. We've done it before.
Well,
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got it.
No, I think just what Hunt
What's that?
and Bruce said.
Oh,
we
it can
could
be done?
Yes.
We'll set up a workshop in the next 2 months and we'll talk about it. Okay.
That sounds good.
Okay,
Sounds
let's
good.
move on. Water lowing permit was issued for 2021 period. Thank you, Jesse, for getting that done. We did the Zoom meetings. What else we got?
I have one piece of new business when you're ready.
Okay, go ahead, Bruce. Or I'm sorry, Eric.
I have a piece of legislation that, working with Clean Ocean Action and seeing the things that they have done, and I know we do things with Clean Ocean Action as well, and talk about, when they do their beach sweeps of, some of the litter that they pick off the beach, and a lot of it is balloons. So we have a piece of legislation that has been evolving of planned releases of balloons. You know how when someone passes away, everybody likes to go out and get a balloon and they release them. Well, most of them end out over the ocean or in the Deal Lake or West Lake, Fletcher Lake. That's where they usually end up. And usually wildlife finds them or they wash up on the beach and they're a real problem. So we have, through Clean Ocean Action on their own, they put a petition out and they have 20,000 signatures on that petition. So it's got a lot of support behind it. So what I was hoping that our Deal Lake Commission could write a letter of support for that legislation, for something like that to happen.
Eric, could you send me a little email on that?
Yeah, I would.
And we can put it on our website and our Facebook page and link it. I haven't seen that at all, but personally I would sign it for sure.
Yeah.
Well, not only sign the petition, but if we could get a letter of support from the Deal Lake Commission,
Sure.
That's what I'm asking for. Yeah.
Yeah, and Don, I can get you some more information, and Eric as well, because you've probably seen Jen Coffey from the New Jersey, from ANJEC, New Jersey Association of Environmental Commissions. I'm on the Board of Trustees, and that's been something that I know that ANJEC has been working, along with the other enviro groups, to have that legislation passed statewide, similar to the recent plastic bag legislation. So I can get you some information on that as well.
Eric, and Eric, give a motion on that, a quick motion, we can vote on it.
Yeah, I'll just give you a little bit more on that bill. So the bill is, there was nothing about releasing balloons. So what we did was we made the releasing of balloons like that is simple littering. Just whatever the fine is for throwing a water bottle out the window of your car or whatever, it's the same as releasing a balloon. The beginning portion of the legislation is talking about why we're doing this, because some people feel this, think this is very lighthearted legislation. Do we really need it? I'm going to say, yeah. So the first part of our legislation is talking about why we're doing it, what the need is, and what these balloons do. And if, somebody wants to recognize an uncle or a grandfather or something, plant a tree, flowers, a garden. There's a lot of other things that can be done.
Right.
So I would like to make a motion that the Deal Lake Commission supports this legislation and writes a letter of support.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay.
Eric, can you
Thank
send me
Eric.
some information on that?
Yeah, I will. I'll send you the bill. Yep.
That's great
Perfect, thank
stuff.
you.
All right. Thank you.
Item 6, we're going to hold to after we have our meeting, okay? I'm not
Hey,
gonna-
Don, I just got one quick thing I
Sure.
wanted to bring up real quick. Back in November, I did at the North American Lake Management Society, I did a presentation on urban lakes and highlighted Deal Lake. And I have that PowerPoint, and I can share it with the commission and have it uploaded to the website if you want to do that. But
Sure.
the bigger uplift of that was that I started this urban lake initiative, a national initiative to really promote the role of urban lakes, particularly in distressed communities and with, dealing with youth at risk as a means of really kind of like bringing the community together. It's a focal point. And I think some of the things that we talked about tonight, like with the CLONET testing, the stuff that Peter's doing, which is like, it just put me right over the top, with the high school. I think we can really promote that. There is a special session that is being held next August by the Environmental Society of America, the Ecological Society of America, rather. And it's going to have a subsection that deals with urban lakes. Right now, I do have a speaker from the Camden County area that's going to be dealing with some of the issues with the lakes in Camden County. But there's, I think there's the opportunity here to again promote Deal Lake and show all the things that the commission is doing, as well as showing how the lake is sort of like a rallying point for the entire community. And and one of the big things that we are trying to push with this urban lake initiative is citizen science and getting like I said, inner city youth, youth at risk, get them introduced to science and engineering. Whether it's in grammar school or high school. So I'll keep you guys posted on that. But if you want the PowerPoint that I did at NOMS, I gladly would share it, and you can be posted up to the website.
Would you post it under education section, Steve? That would be the best place, you think?
Yeah. And I can send it to you in a PDF so that it's really easy to for people to go through. So if you want it, I'll send it over to you. But the primary thing that I just wanted to alert you to is this urban lake initiative. We're just getting it off the ground. We have a subcommittee that I'm really sort of like chairing. We had our first meeting earlier this month, but already we've got a whole bunch of stuff that's going on, and so I would like to use it as a way to promote the commission.
That's great, Steve. Thanks. Hey, Steve, you were also selected by the governor or the head of DEP to be on a blue-green algae program, or?
Yeah. So, I'm retired, but I'm definitely still pretty busy.
That's great. Congratulations.
Yeah, it's an expert panel that actually it's through New Jersey Marine Sciences Consortium and Sea Grant, actually through Sea Grant. And essentially there's quote unquote experts from Maryland and Virginia all the way up into New Jersey. So I'm there along with, Dr. Adolph. So, we'll run that committee. It's pretty cool.
Very nice. Any other new business? Okay, we open up to the public, Jesse?
Motion to open the meeting to the public?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Okay, anybody from the public?
So at this point, I think.
Hang on.
No?
You
Mr.
guys hear
Everly,
me?
I
Can you
see
guys hear me?
your mic open?
Yeah. Off mute.
Yeah, I'm not sure. This happens every time where I get cut off.
Who's that?
Hello?
Who is that?
It's Ernest Mignoli, 400 Deal Lake Drive, apartment 5D in the Santander, Asbury Park.
Very good,
And
Ernest.
meeting after meeting, I don't get to participate.
This is your
And
time.
this is an open public meeting.
It's now an open public meeting. You got your 5 minutes.
It's always an open public meeting. You're talking about public participation. That's different. You're running an open public meeting. It's being recorded. Everybody's listening.
Yes, we just opened it up to the public.
Thank you. And I want to say, as one of the public, I think if that's Jeannie from Asbury, I totally 1,000% agree with everything you said. I think you should be the chairman.
There you go.
Because I think you'll run it democratically. You have a lot of support, Miss Jeannie, if it's who I think you are. Because we're tired of Mr. Bracco cutting us off on Facebook, character assassinating us with the mayor of Asbury. Who do they think they are?
I don't know.
Really?
Ernie,
And you got lawyers. Listen, Mr. Bracco, stop cutting people off, okay? You have lawyers in this meeting right now. You're allowing this chairman to insult, character assassinate members of the public, cut us off from Facebook participation because he doesn't like what we say. Now, you're lawyers. He can't do this. And what are you going to support him? Really, I've been trying to tell Mr. Bracco for years that my building, Santander, is horribly, even today, horribly polluting the Deal Lake. He refuses to talk to me. He refuses to talk to the mayor. He refuses to talk to the Santander. He refuses to talk to code enforcement or the police or anybody. So you go ahead and support him all you want. But I wish the public could vote on who's a chairman or a commissioner instead of this little closed environment you have where the same people can get on time after time. Look at Deal Lake. Look at Wesley. Look at Sunset. They're a disgrace. And I'm here 15 years looking right over the lakes. Every day, it's a disgrace what they're allowing the developers to do over density. The car pollution is in the street. It's washing into the sewers. It's washing into Deal Lake. They keep allowing these phony developer lawyers to come in and say, oh, we got a DEP approval because we're covering 187,000 square feet with 170,000 of asphalt. But we're losing the permeability, but our studies show it won't impact Wesley Lake. What, are you kidding me? Where are we, back in Operation Bid Rig again? Remember when they arrested all of Asbury? The mayor, the ocean mayor, city manager, who signed that dumpy 2002 master plan? 5 years in prison for Mr. Weldon. Our housing guy in prison in Asbury? And you just want to cut people off. Just cut us off. The nerve. You control everything. The newspapers, the Coaster, the Sun, the Link, the press. The public can't get anything in. We can't. No secret meetings. Jeannie's right. This is supposed to be in the open. What do you think your business is? To discuss and let the public listen. That's why it's called. You want to violate the Sunshine Law? Have those private meetings. And I hope your lawyers are listening, because you know that if you do that in private, when it's a public issue, I'm not talking about public participation. That's now. But the meeting itself is public. Why do you think it's broadcast, recorded by you, by APTV, and others, because everybody wants to hear it. They want to hear it. But don't you find it strange how few from all the boroughs, Ocean, name them all, was there 5, 6? You only got a big mouth like me calling in. What does that tell you? People don't want to wind up like me, intimidated and character assassinated. That's your reality. Otherwise, are you kidding? The public, you got 15,000 people in Asbury should be commenting on the 3 lakes. Why are they afraid to call in? Yeah, ask your chairman with his fishing buddies and the mayor. That's the only person that gets Mr. Brockle's ear. Jean Moore and the fishing club, the main polluters of the lake. And you know what? I could go on, but I'm not going to. I'm in tears because people in my building are calling me today. I'm at a state right now. I call, you got to come back at Santander. They're blowing the dust again. It's going in the lake. And who am I going to call? Don Brockle?
You call the DEP, sir.
You know what? No one's talking to you.
We're not in enforcement.
Why don't you take a lesson from what Jeannie said and just be a commissioner? Everybody else is quiet. Who asked you to chime in?
Because you're directing your anger to me.
I'm not angry. I'm disappointed. Can I tell you something? Sure. I'm disappointed in you. And if I could figure out a way to get you recalled out of that chairmanship, I would do it. Because you're remiss. I'm watching 15 years. This lake is deteriorating under your authoritarian, self-ingratiating chairmanship.
Wow.
Let Jeannie do it. Let the other people. You've proven you can't do it. You can't do it. You're too complicated, too conflicted with the municipalities.
Thanks.
You're too many fishing and parties with mayors and stuff. It's no good.
Thank you for your
comment. It's just no good.
I have to move on to another person in the public.
No, excuse me.
I am. Ken, cut him off, please. That's it. 5 minutes are up. Thank you. So noted. Mr. McEverly.
Yes, thank you, Don. Can you hear me now?
We can hear you.
Thank you for this opportunity to comment. I'm Paul McEverly. I live in Interlaken at 610 Woodmere Avenue. As some of you may know, I am a 35-year recreational user of Deal Lake. When there's no ice on the lake and it's 38 degrees or higher, I am on the lake every day. I'm also a former commissioner of the Deal Lake Commission. Back in the years when I served, the professionals serving on the community, Steve Souza was there, Peter Hocking was there. They were doing a great job then, and they're still doing a great job now. I don't believe any of the current commissioners were active on the commission when I was serving on the commission. Back then, we were almost exclusively fixated on dealing with the runoff problems from the prior development of Seaview Mall and dealing with weed growth in the lake, which I know you are still dealing with. In recent years, the Deal Lake Commission has had to deal with many additional and much more complex issues, whether it's rebuilding the flume and the flume house, whether it's dealing with manufactured treatment devices, or going back to Sandy, getting the lake dredged following Sandy and all the sand that washed into the lake. I don't think the lake has ever been in better condition. As a recreational user of the lake, I very much appreciate the work of the commissioners and your professionals in ensuring the quality of the lake and the availability of the lake to users like myself. I think it's fitting that tonight during your reorganizational meeting, I have the opportunity to thank you all for your service and especially for the leadership of Don Brockle over the years in chairing the Deal Lake Commission. Thank you for the opportunity to comment.
Thanks, Paul. Anybody else? Okay, not seeing any hands. Oh, anyone else? Bill Hodges now? Did I see somebody filing it?
You guys hear me?
Yeah, go ahead, Bill.
Hey, first of all, how's everybody doing?
Doing good, Bill.
You guys, yeah. By the way, I'm not afraid of you, by the way, okay? As far as the east of Wickapeckle not being treated due to some concerns about drift, and its effect, I guess, on some of the plant life. I was, I live right there, and what I would see is maybe some browning of the lily pads, but it was a quick turnover back to green, and I didn't see the impact that you were speaking of tonight. And I just don't want us to take our eye off the ball as far as the continued maintenance of that because it grows, it comes in quick, So I just want to make sure that that it's still because it is important that
Okay, thanks, because we're going to hit Hollow Brook and Terrace Pond pretty heavily, so you shouldn't see any problems, and actually you'll have the drift from those, and that should help you. I think what happened was you might not have seen it, but down further near Sunset there was a lot of dead lily pads, so that was some of the concerns. So, and I got we got grief for doing that last year, and
but we will have the opportunity to make observations along those areas, and if something does come up where there's a major weed problem, and once we have a contractor on contract, it's not that difficult if there's an emergency to address it. So we can keep an eye on that.
Thanks. Anybody else for the public?
Yeah.
Marty Martino.
Yes, Marty.
Yeah, I have a couple comments I'd like to make. The first one is on the agenda of the DLA Commission. I've been around a long time. Marty Martino, 1600 Bryan Avenue in Ocean. I've been around a long time and served on several commissions, and in each case, each commissioner was either elected or appointed to that role, and each commissioner was an equal to each other. Now, when it came to an agenda, DLA Commission never really put out an agenda until maybe just a couple of years ago, when Jerry Maurer and Marty Martino argued and fought to have an agenda issued publicly 48 hours in advance. So, but I think as far as getting it, I take issue with what the advice the attorney just rendered for a commissioner to get an item on the agenda. He said that if a commissioner wants to get an item on the agenda, he has an avenue of making a motion and getting it seconded, and then discussion would follow. That's totally incorrect. Each commissioner is equal to each other. And if a commissioner asks the chairman to have an item added to the agenda, that should happen without any question, without any discussion. That item should be added, and it should not have to go to a vote among the commissioners just to bring an item up for discussion. I just wanted to make that clear, at least as a taxpayer goes and as a former commissioner of a lot of different organizations.
Thanks, Marty.
Is a role equal. That's number one. Number two, back in your November meeting, you put together a list of about, if I recall properly, 27 different projects for the DLA Commission to look at. Typically, when you have 27 different projects, you prioritize them. And I would like to know, of those 27 projects they were listed, have you put together a priority list or broken them down into a couple different groups in order of priority? And if you did not, when will you do that? There's seven commissioners on this board. There's not just one, Don Brockel. There's 7 of you.
That's correct.
And each one of you has got a responsibility to fulfill the obligation that you guys took and ladies took when you said you would serve as a commissioner. So I ask each of you commissioners, not just you, Don, of those 27 projects, which ones are you going to do? Which ones are priorities? And when will you share that with the public?
It was supposed to go on the website a while back. I don't know if it's on there yet, but it's going to be on soon. Probably see it before the next meeting, Marty.
So you will have a priority list put together of those 27. You'll put them in some order of priority. So you will have that done by next meeting?
Should have it done.
The list is up on the website.
Is-
But not, we haven't done the priorities, but the
We need a
list,
priority, not just a list. You want to know, I mean, it's impossible for, the way you guys have been operating, Don Brockel runs the commission, and Don Brockel decides which of those 27 projects are going to be worked on. Okay, and
Well, we kind of
none
vote
of
on.
the, I haven't heard any
might
other
help direct,
commissioner.
Marty,
I'm sorry?
help direct, but it's really a vote of the commission. So, any commissioner could put up a list of anything they want, really.
oh, no.
I understand that, Don. I understand that, but it's also prudent for the group of 7 commissioners decide, okay, here's priority number 1, this group, here's priority number 2, here's priority number 3, and then you just, maybe 2 or 3 commissioners work on each one of those projects, and you put together the time action plan, when you expect to get an answer, and what kind of help you need, and then you report back to the commission at your meeting.
We'll explain that next meeting.
You guys don't operate that way.
Marty, we'll
Yes.
talk about that next meeting. Okay.
Can I chime in, Don?
Sure, Laura.
Okay, so Marty, I think I totally agree with your point. And tying back to one of the points that Jeannie raised, I think the importance, if I could recommend a change, it would be to have a workshop meeting before every DLC meeting, so that topics like prioritizing projects are discussed openly with people who are not only on the commission, but maybe willing to really help the commission. If we were invited as the Deal Lake Watershed Alliance to attend a workshop meeting with you, as we were that one time more often, we would be able to offer assistance, network, or try to increase volunteerism to help maybe, push forward some of the projects or initiatives that are really going to help Deal Lake. So that's just my thought on what Jeannie raised, tying into what Marty just discussed.
Well, that's a good thought. I mean, the Ocean Township, before their meetings or town council meetings, if I'm not mistaken, has workshops, small, short workshops, I believe. And we can look into incorporating some of that. Yeah.
I think it would be really helpful, because then there'd be some discussion of actually how we can put together project initiatives, and then in the actual meeting, it can be voted on by the, Deal Lake Commission.
Yeah,
And
a lot of those things will be done behind the scene right now. And the agenda hasn't changed, but the agenda has been pretty much the same. And there's a lot of topics. To be honest with you, there's a lot of moving parts. It takes a lot of time to do what we're doing right now.
right.
I just want to mention that to you. And we could use the Deal Lake Watershed Alliance to help out a lot.
We're here. We want to partner with you. That was the reason why we formed, and we have, good resources, and we're absolutely ready to partner.
And you and I talked the other day about the relationship bonding a little more in terms of the group. So we'll talk about that again. And
Okay.
Wait, Don, I'm not done yet, Don.
Go ahead,
I'm
Mark.
not done yet.
Go ahead.
So,
I'm sorry,
so
Mark.
it's my request that at the next meeting, that the Deal Lake Commission, not just Don Brockel, but all 7 of you commissioners, go over that list of 27 and put it in some kind of order of priority. And I would ask each commissioner to look around to your fellow commissioners, and maybe you could form a group, 2 or 3 is on each one of these projects, and work together and try to sort out what has to be done and put together a time action plan and what you're going to do. So everything doesn't fall on the chairman's shoulders to do. Because right now, everything's falling on Don Brockel's shoulders to do. And that's not the way you get things done, from my viewpoint. Okay, so I'm looking forward to prioritization of those 27 ones. Now, the next one I want to talk about is Nobility Crest. Okay, the fellow that spoke before said he was on the Deal Lake Commission years ago. I didn't get his name. In any event, the best of my recollection, Deal Lake, the colonial terrace section of Deal Lake was excavated around the year 2000, maybe 2001 or so. And it was funded by a lawsuit that was filed and with Seaview Square Mall, and Seaview Square Mall paid to have that excavation done. Number one. Number two, that's my understanding. Number two, Nobility Crest. They too have been kind of duplicating what Seaview Square Mall has done. Now, your attorney has been researching, between you, Don Brockle, and your attorney, you've been researching what legal action to take against Nobility Crest. Okay, now your attorney, as I understand, looking at your bill list, he submitted bills for the legal work that he has done, and he's been paid for it. And I'd like to ask him for a report on what he found, if he could share with the public. I mean, if we, the taxpayer, paid to have this research work done by our attorney, I'd like to know what the outcome was.
I can answer that.
No, not you, him.
I know, I'm asking him to ask.
Yeah,
I have not submitted a bill for my work thus far.
So you have not been paid any work for Nobility Crest?
No.
For research?
No. I have researched it, but I haven't submitted a bill. No.
All right, so tell me the results of your research then. What have you concluded?
Well, I've concluded.
Can we expect any kind of legal action? Can we as the public expect any legal action to be taken by the DLA Commission against Nobility Crest, which may result in the excavation again of that section of Colonial Terrace Deal Lake like was done before? Is that the plan?
Ultimately, I think so, but the plan, the way we've addressed this is to go directly to Amboy Bank, who is the owner of Nobility Crest, to try and work something out with them before resorting to the use of the federal and local, federal and state statutes that apply to what occurred up there.
Have you taken a look at what the prior attorneys did when they filed a lawsuit against Seaview Square Mall? What grounds they used and the approach they took to get resolution?
No.
I would recommend that you and Don Brockle and the rest of the commissioners. This, it kind of burns me up that we have one commissioner running the whole Deal Lake Commission. There's 7 of you. I mean, by golly, accept the responsibility that each one of you have. Don't leave it up to Don to do everything himself. And Don, I admire what you're doing. Don't misunderstand what I'm saying. You do a lot yourself, but it shouldn't all be on your shoulders.
Okay, thanks,
It should be on the 7 commissioners there to help you out.
Thank you.
I got one more question.
Marty, I want to move on. It's getting late. Is there anybody else from the
I'll
public?
make this one brief.
Thank you. But what?
Weed control.
Sorry, Marty, can you save that for next week? Because it's getting real late.
I know. Can I ask one real quick question?
Okay,
Weed control.
Go ahead.
Weed control. I've been down the road before with the LA Commission on Weed Control. My question is, I've heard part of the discussion tonight, but are you going to treat the weed treatment from Sunset Avenue to Wickapeco, that section of Deal Lake?
There's no plans at this point in time to do that.
Could I make that official request that be included in your program?
You can make the request. We just voted on something else, Marty.
I am making as a taxpayer of Ocean Township, I am making the request.
Marty, thanks for the recommendation. We'll take it up in the next meeting.
Great, thank you.
Can you, anybody else from the public, please?
Don, I just want to add a couple things. First to Eric Hotelling. Eric, if you want to send me the same information you send to the DLA Commission regarding supporting the balloon project, I'd be happy to write a letter on behalf of our members in support of that. I don't know if it would help, but we're certainly on board with that. And with regard to dredging the area west of Wickapeco, or very west of my area of that part of Deal Lake, I'd like to ask if we can submit a permit for that to happen so that we remove all of the sediment from that has accumulated since the last time that section of the lake has been dredged. And again, the Deal Lake Watershed Alliance would be more than happy to discuss collaborating, maybe offsetting some of the costs of that permitting process if need be. But I feel that section of the lake has filled in so significantly that it can't possibly not be impacting the flooding downstream or down east of Wekapaco. It's almost at the point where you can walk across the lake to the golf course. And that ties back to what Marty just brought up in terms of Nobility Crest. And I too want to know where our legal options stand in terms of, I have submitted more documents, more photos, more videos in support of the egregious ignorance of any kind of stormwater mitigation or soil retention that should have been there years ago. And as they develop and continue to develop up there, I really feel like it's frustrating to know that Nobility Crest is not held somewhat accountable for all of the infilling of Deal Lake.
I agree with you, Laura.
Yeah.
I would ask in regard to that. I'm glad you brought that up, Laura. And at our last meeting, Don, you said you were going to write a letter, and I was confused as to why the letter to Nobility Crest. I think originally you said you were going to write a letter, Hunt, if I'm not mistaken. You said it was going to go to the Attorney General's office. And then the next thing I heard was Don was going to write that letter.
No, it's the little difference. It was the original concept was to go to that direction, to the higher level, and just to start the process of lawsuit. And Mr. Perry recommended that we write a letter. The chairman writes a letter to Nobility Crest. I have that letter here. I haven't signed it yet. I just got it the other day. So I'll be going over the Hunt, and I'll probably be sending it and contacting them. So yeah, it's a certified, I think it's certified receipt requested, return receipt requested.
Yes.
So that'll start the ball rolling. But I do have that letter in hand.
Okay. Then what I'm a little confused as to why then that letter was not sent some time ago. Does that make sense? It was a long time ago that this happened.
I agree.
Well, I just got the letter. We went the other direction. The other direction was taking time, and it was going to cost more money, and it wasn't going to get necessarily anywhere. The key thing is if they're going to be able to remediate, if they remediate by themselves without lawyers involved, we're all saving a lot of money.
Right, but it could have been done.
And remember, Laura, myself, and many other people went through the proper channels to try to get the state and the local authorities to do something, and nothing was done, as Laura remembers. I mean,
that's true.
And that was a shame. And unfortunately, that never happened.
We can't not pursue this.
I agree. No, I agree with you. It's on the agenda. It's going to stay on the agenda, and we're going to reach it. It's not hidden away anywhere. It's right on the table, top of the table.
Then I have a request. That letter you're going to send, will you make sure each fellow commissioner gets a copy of it as well as?
Oh, they will absolutely get it. It has. I just got it. I'm reading it over.
Can we get a copy of that letter too?
Not at the present time, Marty.
After you sign it.
Yes. Absolutely.
Don, I apologize, but who prepared the letter?
Hunt Perry.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Hunt. I wasn't sure. Okay, great.
I think, is that it for the public?
I see some hands up. I don't know.
Matthew Clark, 400 Lincoln.
Go ahead, Matt.
How are you? I'll keep it very brief. I just want to respectfully ask that the issue of dredging and remediation on retention on the county property be put on the agenda at the next meeting.
It is. Thank you, Matt. And Matt, by the way, Matt lives right at the problem site up on Colonial Terrace. So,
and to that point, I do have a call in to Freeholder Arnone. I'm hoping
Okay.
kind of post-pandemic, not that we're anywhere near post-pandemic, but I kind of was, it was just not appropriate to push the freeholder or Senator Gopal to revisit the Seaview Square issue, but we are back on target, and we are going to continue to push to have a meeting with them to get the basins at Seaview Square Mall addressed, so that we are not carrying or not infilling because they're not doing the right soil remediation or soil retention that they need to do.
Got it. Thanks, Laura.
Thank you.
Could I
Okay,
ask?
I'm going to close the public session. Jesse?
A motion to close the public hearing?
Wait, you have a commission who wants to make it, a commission wants to ask a question.
Oh,
How can you
Close
rule
the
it?
public. We're closing the public.
Jeannie's muted. She's muted.
I thought we are just closing the public
So
session.
I believe that El Presidente, is that, I can't tell if that is Eddie Winder or not.
Yeah,
Eddie Winder here.
Hi,
Okay,
Eddie.
I wasn't sure. And
Hello.
So I just wanted to really quickly, first of all, thank Bill Hodges, who I think is still on, for his 2 years as an alternate. He's been helpful with the flume and so many other things. So thank you, Bill, for
Thank you,
being
Bill.
the alternate. And also, I would like to just introduce to everybody Eddie Winder, who is down there saying, there he is. Ed is the going to be the alternate for Asbury Park. He's just been appointed, and he's an avid boater and fisherman, and has lots of experience because he owns a marine electronics business. So he understands weather instruments, and I'm sure you can speak for yourself if you would like to, but I just wanted everyone to meet him and to welcome him to as an alternate to the commission.
Welcome, Eddie. Welcome.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. I'll keep it real brief. You all covered a lot of territory tonight, so I don't want to dive into that. I listened an awful lot, and I'm looking forward to giving you all 110%.
Thanks a lot, man.
Bill has been speaking with Eddie, and Eddie is willing to take over for Bill some of the responsibility at the flume.
Oh, great.
Correct.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Jesse, go ahead.
A motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to adjourn the meeting?
I'll make a motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.